Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this was a paid request for Andrew. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, movie review, re-review, tier list, ranking, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And this is for storytelling, and I'm sorry to Andrew that this took a while for me to do because I didn't really know what to say about this film. It's a very weird movie. Storytelling from 2001. Which I guess this director's known for doing these pretty, like, dark, black comedy type of movies. It's a movie that it's two stories in one. One is about 20 to 30 minutes. And then the other's about an hour. And one's called fiction and one's called non-fiction. And so the premise is the first story has Selma Blair, who is with her boyfriend Marcus, who has cerebral palsy. And they're going to school for writing. And there's this teacher who's a complete hard ass. I don't even know how to talk about it without spoiling it. I'll set up, and then stuff happens between Selma Blair and her boyfriend Marcus, and then Selma Blair and the teacher. While nonfiction is about this kid named Scooby. Yeah, his name is actually Scooby. Who you tell he's a bit of a lost teen, doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. He wants to be on TV. He's a big fan of Conan O'Brien, which he actually makes a cameo, which I didn't expect it, but that's cool because I always liked Conan O'Brien. His parents are John Goodman, who's a very tough, stern guy, and his mom is Julie Hagerty from Airplane and Airplane 2. And he's got two brothers. One is a younger one who's a bit of a jock, and one is the youngest, who's a complete little shit, who's always giving crap, being very passive-aggressive towards the maid, the housekeeper. Consuelo, I think was her name. And then at one point, Paul Giamatti, who's a documentary filmmaker, or at least wants to be, wants to film something about teenage angst, finds his subject in Scooby and starts filming. Actually, the cameraman is Mike Shank from An American Movie, or just American Movie. And I love American Movie. So you have your lead, and then you have his buddy who, sadly, Mike Shank has passed away. But he was the guy in the movie that seemed a bit stoned all the time. And yeah, I love playing my guitar, just doing this, led the lottery tickets. That's Mike Shank. So he doesn't have a whole lot to do, but it's like, oh shit, that's him. I would definitely say of the two, I like that story more than the first one. But it's definitely a weird one. It's very dark. It's very... Well, actually, no, I think I did see one of this guy's movies. It was... I did review one of this guy's movies. What was it? Sorry. Or, no, was it? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Welcome to the Dollhouse. Did I see this one or... No. Okay, no, I'm thinking of a different movie. I didn't see this one. I was thinking of a different film. I've heard of it. I never saw it. So yeah, I'm thinking of a different movie. But apparently it's much in tone with what he usually does. I gotta get into spoilers. the first story, you have a guy with cerebral palsy, and I'm not going to mimic how he plays the role. Pretty much he writes his story and the teacher shits on it. And the other students start shitting on it. But mostly the teacher, you write a wave of cliches that approaches grotesquerie. You just be pretentious. And then the boyfriend gets mad at Selma Blair going, "You patronizing fuck, I believed you. You said it was good." I said, "I did say it was good." And he dumps her. So then Selma Blair goes to a bar, sees the teacher, talks to him, says, "Oh, thank you for being honest about his story. What do you think about my story?" And he says it sucks. They go back to his apartment. Selma Blair starts whispering, "Don't be racist, don't be racist," because the teacher is black. They have rough sex, teacher and student. And I guess with the MPAA, they had an issue with them. So it's a whole red rectangle that blocks the sex scene. And it's like, say, I'm not going to repeat what he wants her to say, but it involves the N-word a lot. And he wants her to say it. And then ultimately she does. Then she goes back to her boyfriend. He takes her back. She wrote a story about it. The people in class say it's unrealistic. There's no way that would happen. And she's like, it did happen. And people say it's confessional yet dishonest. She demonizes and runs for cover. Wants more but afraid to admit it. And then the teacher goes, when you start writing, no matter what it is, it becomes fiction. But I will say now it's better. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'm like, does it? I mean, she could go to the cops. She could go to the chairman of the board. Because I don't think they'd be happy to hear about any of that shit. Any semen samples. Anything of that between. I mean, they would take that shit pretty seriously. I would assume in 2001 they would. They definitely would now. So, I mean, it's just... I'll be honest, I don't even get what the fuck the point of it was. Just nobody, I mean, if you have to tell yourself, don't be racist, then that means you're pretty much racist, so I guess that's the point. But then he's the one that told her to say it, so he's not much better. The boyfriend, yeah, he has cerebral palsy, but he's also a fucking dickhead. So there's nobody to like, there's nobody to root for, there's nobody to cheer. I guess maybe that's the point. But... I mean, what else is supposed to say? Okay, whatever you write down is fiction. I mean, I don't even believe in that. I don't even believe in what the teacher is saying. I'll be honest, I just didn't get it. I didn't understand that at all. Didn't get it. You're too dumb. Then fine, I'm dumb. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to be dumb. I'm going to be great about it. Now, the other story I thought was a little bit more interesting, with Paul Giamatti calling the school a girl that he knew back in the day, but she's married, has kids, has moved on, while he's kind of stuck where he's at. And so now he really wants to get something done, so a documentary. Like I said, John Goodman is the father of this kid named this teen named Scooby. He's a hard ass, wants him to go to college. I thought some of the dialogue was pretty funny. When Paul Giamatti meets the kid Struby, I'm doing a documentary. And he's like, you mean like Blair Witch Project? Well, it's a little bit different. Is it on the end of Sundance? Well, there's been interest from the Sundance channel. Oh, terrific. And that one, I mean, I could get a little bit more understanding about what it's, stuff that other movies have been about, teen angst, when you're lost and you don't really know what to do, and you have a family that doesn't understand you, a family that doesn't get you, so you feel more alienated, more like an outsider. There's this weird bit where I guess this guy had a crush on him, so he lets the guy blow him. You don't see any of it, but then right before the guy does it, our lead kind of goes to this haze and then this dream where his parents are on fire, and he walks and there's Conan O'Brien smiling and says, hey, want to be the guest on my show? Let's take a look. And then it goes to this TV and he is a guest on the Conan O'Brien show. Like, I thought that was kind of, the whole dream scene was kind of funny. The John Goodman and the Julie Hagerty burning up, and John's like, I never should have let him take those SATs. I should have forced him to do that. That was kind of funny. Again, great to see Conan O'Brien. Always been a big fan of his. He's always been my favorite talk show host. John Goodman, always nice to see him in there. Always been a fan of him. Arachnophobia, The Big Lebowski, many others. Paul Giamatti, great actor. Hell, the last film I saw him in, The Holdovers, I thought was a pretty good film. Spoiler alert, eventually the middle kid, the jock, gets hit in a football practice and gets put into a coma. And then things take like a even more weird state of affairs where, I mean, it was unique, I'll say that. The youngest is into hypnotism. It hypnotizes his dad, John Goodman, to going, I'll be your favorite son. I want you to fire the housekeeper because she's lazy. The same housekeeper that the young little shit had just been fucked with the entire story. Meanwhile, Scooby talks to Paul Giamatti. He's like, hey, can I see a cut of the film? Like, what you've shot? Eventually finds out there is a screening. But when he stares, people are laughing at his life. So when he sincerely says, oh, I want to be working with Conan O'Brien, and then Paul Giamatti's like, hey, you know he went to college too. Really? Yeah, I think Harvard or something. Him kind of being surprised, confused, the people are laughing. So just the way the kids looked on his face, how his dreams and his pouring out into the world and his honesty is just laughed at, thrown back into his face, laughed at by the crowd, not to be taken seriously. Kind of like, I mean, in a way, like Mark Borchardt, the guy, American Movie, which I love that film. I did think he was funny, but I was never laughing at him. I was laughing with him. But I did find it very interesting. But I do see like people laughing at, oh, this guy's never going to be which sadly became the case. He was never going to be a big director. It never happened. I don't think it's funny. I think it's sad. I mean, that's a movie that really is about the American dream, where a guy's trying, has got those hopes, but it's also the sad reality a lot of people go through. you always hear about the underdog that made it, but you'll never hear about the 100 people that also tried and failed for X, Y, or Z reasons, timing wise, or they just were not good enough, or they didn't have the right connections, or all the above. And that's kind of an American movie. So it just felt more honest. I mean, there are, Sam Raimi, starring stuff like Evil Dead and made it to you're doing Spider-Man, and he did that Doctor Strange movie, which is terrible, but I'm sure he got a good paycheck. I'm sure he's doing well financially and stuff. He made it. Sally, that doesn't happen to everybody. Peter Jackson, Bad Taste, Dead Alive, Meet the Feebles, and got, Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit films, and I'm sure he's rich as hell. But yeah, not everybody gets to that point. Even ones who deserve it. I mean, what's a director, I think, like horror film wise, that deserved more? Hell, I think the guy who made the first Power, Lou Diamond Phillips, that director deserved more. Yeah, I think he did a really good job with that film. Sometimes it's that, the guy who did Shoot 'Em Up, action film. That's one of the last films that guy did, Sally. And I thought Shoot 'Em Up is a really fun, crazy... That was ahead of its time. Because you see films like Nobody and John Wick films, and like Shoot 'Em Up fits in that, but it did it before those films. So, and Sally, that director, I don't know whatever happened to him, to be honest. Sometimes that's how it goes. So, my point is, like, I get what they were doing with that. So you see, like, him kind of lose his innocence at that point. And then, I will say I didn't see this coming, so I'll give credit to heavy spoilers, starting now. The housekeeper who got fired, she wants revenge. She goes back. She puts the gas on, and John Goodman, the wife, and the youngest son all suffocate and die. So Scooby comes home and sees that they're dead. Paul Giamatti comes in and says, "I'm so sorry." And Scooby turns and is like, "It's fine. The movie's a hit." And there are cuts and go to credits. Meaning, you see that he's not happy, but he's just kind of this innocence just gone. Like, I'm sure this whole thing, although to be fair, his family wasn't that great anyway, because John Goodman was an asshole. Julie Hagerty didn't really do anything bad. She was just a flower on the wall that didn't really do anything, and then the little kid was a little shit. So it's hard to feel bad for what happened. As characters. In real life, yes. But yeah, as fictional characters, like, yeah. But then just seeing, well, this is going to be in the film, with all the drama and weird up and down craziness, he's right. This will be a hit. And people will laugh at it, or be like an oddity or something, and lo and behold, he'll get on. I think it'll be like American Movie, like the type of hit American Movie was. And American Movie wasn't this blockbuster hit, but those guys got a little bit of fame for 15 minutes. I mean, Mark Borchardt, he was on David Letterman a number of times. In 2000 and such. I mean, they were an episode of Family Guy. So, I mean, if Bart Borchardt could get on Family Guy, then this guy will probably get his dream of being on Conan O'Brien. That's what he always wanted. Wanted to be on TV. Maybe make connections. See what happens next. So, but at the same time, he's not smiling. He's not like happy and giddy. Just the movie's a hit. As in, I don't know, a way of selling out. If you just say. I mean, he has no family anymore. The people think it's funny. What else is he going to do? Granted, there's certain things that didn't really lead anywhere. Like the one kid that blew him. That didn't really go anywhere. So it makes me wonder... Okay, the middle brother thought that the team Scooby was gay. And then that same guy says, I hear these rumors, and okay, yeah. But that didn't really go anywhere. I honestly thought what they were going to do is you find out that the middle brother, he was actually gay. It was just projecting. So he was projecting onto him. And like for Scooby, no, I just did it because he wanted it and I didn't care. But maybe the middle brother was actually gay. So that meant, okay, they don't lead us somewhere, he's projecting him on, something about himself onto someone else. No, that didn't go anywhere, so I kind of want to know, well, what was the point of all that? I don't know. And also the poster's weird. Like, I looked at the poster, and the poster... Nothing about that fucking poster showcases what the movie's like. And the way it's called storytelling, I mean, I don't know if... I mean, I guess like the first story, it's your writing piece. And the second one is the documentary filmmaking, telling the story. But... I maybe did it more the second part, but I don't know, I don't know if that poster really sells the film. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Also, most of those people on the poster is not in the fucking movie. Like, most of those people in the poster, I'm like, who the hell are those people? But anyway. It's definitely a weird film. I didn't hate the film. It was interesting to watch. Especially more so the second story. Just to see Paul Giamatti, John Goodman. Definitely a different type of ending. Bit ballsy. Was it really enjoyable? No. Would I ever watch it again? No. Would I say it's not really my cup of tea. Like, it's not the kind of movie I normally watch. I mean, I would say the second story I didn't mind. I wish we could delve a bit more into Paul Giamatti's character as this documentary filmmaker. Give more insight to what he sees. Like how he interprets John Goodman's I mean, all we really did is, do you think I should use this footage about their one kid being in a coma? And he's like, well, this is still meant to be entertaining. And the other person going, well, but this is actually going to make the documentary mean something. What she really means is controversy creates cash, and this will get people intrigued and talked in one way or another. Otherwise they'd be... If it bleeds, it leads. As someone said in another movie. If it bleeds, it leads. So, I mean, in Mike Shank, I wish he would have been given more to do. I mean, he's not really used much. It's like, you got the guy from American Movie. Why don't you use him more? It took me a few bit to go, oh, that is him. Give him some, like, dialogue. Like, give him some moments to really shine in his comedy. Like, if it's not meant to be, like, give him some moments to shine at all. He doesn't have a whole lot to do. So I wish they used Mike Shank more. I wish they could have delved a bit more. Honestly, I wish they would have forget the first story and just balloon up the second story. Balloon up Paul Giamatti's character. Maybe at the end of... the way they ended, it's that called the punchline. Definitely hits... But maybe like in the middle of the credits, they show that the film's a hit and he actually did get on Conan, but then the way he is in the dream and the way it is in real life is two very different reactions from our teen to really show his dream isn't really what it's cracked up to be. I don't know, maybe people feel that'd be too over explaining. So maybe that's perhaps, but I'm just what I would have preferred. Which is what any review is. This is all subjective, but anyway. It was worth one watch, I'll give it that. With that said, thanks for watching, take care, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.